Good morning, YouTube. This is Chuck Junnels. I want to welcome you to my channel again. And if you've been watching this channel for any time, you know there's a multitude of things we can be doing. We can be in the shop here doing some scrapping. We can be in the shop here doing some melts. We can be doing some pours in the shop. We could actually be outside and be dredging if we had water. Or we could be dry washing in the desert. Or we could be sluicing in the mountains. Or we could be just out riding in the side-by-side. So stay tuned here and we're going to tell you what we're going to do today. All right, guys, so this is what we're going to do today. As you can see, these are ceiling fans and there's two of them laying on the floor here. So believe it or not, there's quite a bit of copper in these. There's a little bit of brass and a lot of steel, mainly steel, but we're going to tear one of these down and get started. Be back. Well, guys, I don't know if you've ever taken one of these apart before, but there's like a million screws. This is the older type, and the older type actually has a lot more screws in them and not as many pins and fold over things and things like that. So we're going to get started here in a second, and we'll start taking screws apart. Keep count. Tell me how many I got by the end. Be back. Okay, so let's get started on this guy. A lot of this is brass, and we'll take some of this apart like that. These little chain deals, that your pull chain to get her going, that's solid brass. The chain is sometimes brass, sometimes it's steel. That one's brass. Screws, like I said before, are just everywhere. There's two fastened for every blade. As you can see, they look brass, but most of them are not. We'll try it anyhow. Yeah, you see? Yeah, those are steel. Although they look brass, each blade has 5 screws. There's these 3 on the back. And I know they're steel. They're easy to come out. I mean, you could do this with a regular screwdriver. You don't need a... Actually, it might be easier. So those are steel. And these, I'm sure, are steel just because they're painted. Oh, wait. There they are. These could be aluminum or they might be zinc. I'm not sure which they are. So that'll be different. And that's one blade that's scrapped. Okay, I'm going to get the blades off and be back. All right, guys, so I know I told you to go ahead and count the screws. Don't do that. You're wasting your time because I can't be doing this and keeping it running and watching off you counting screws. So anyhow, there's a lot. And these are just retaining screws for the cover here, for where the switches are. And that's where all the goodies are. That's where all the wires are, is right there. And here's that brass chain right there that we'll take. So there's a lot of brass. A couple screws for the switch here. So you can see, if you're using just a screwdriver, this would take a long, long time because there are so many screws in this thing. This is the same. So that's steel. And this is all wires and whatnot that plug in here, so we'll get that loose. This has a screw, yeah, down there, and then we can get that out. Get these out. And one screw there. I think I can get. Now I'm not sure on this one if this turns. Doesn't want to turn very bad. Typically these aren't threaded on. They're just set screwed, but I don't know with this one, but we don't care. So I think I'll pull this cover off and see what we got there and increase our steel take here a little bit. Be back. So I got these 4 screws out here, and this is really interesting. I've never seen one quite like this. I thought this was steel. It's wood. That's a wood cover. I've never seen that. Honest. That's a strange thing. Okay, so that's definitely different. And this bottom appears to be wood also. This is steel. The ring around the middle. And that is wood that I've got to take off this way. Oh, well, isn't that something? Okay, we'll take these. And there we go, another piece of wood. That's amazing. I don't know if this is an expensive fan or a really cheap one, but so there that is. I've got another set screw here and one here. Oh, there's 3 on this one. Usually you only have like 2 of these and a pin through here, but this one's a little different, so we don't care. Okay. Alrighty, so we'll get these out of here and we'll have, maybe take this off, maybe not. Like you say, this one's a little different than the ones I've been around, so we may just snip some wires here because there's nothing more in here. And this is just screwed together with screws, the motor itself. And all right, be back. All right, guys, here you can see what I did here was there was screws coming in here, and we hammered with the screwdriver right here and pulled this lower cover off. So we're almost down to the, I guess that's a stator winding. These are a pain in the butt, by the way. They're just a little hard to get apart because they're just pressed on. There's the 4 screws, screw it that way, and then you have to get this off and get this off. And usually they don't want to come either. Now this one might, if I get a wrench on this. But we'll see. They're just a little, I won't even call it difficult. They're just a little different to take apart. And you can do this and just start driving it off. Because it had 4 screws here also. So let me get those things pulled all the way off, get those wires out of there, and we'll be getting close to working on the copper. There. That's why I really didn't want you to count the screws. There's just a million of them, and then that's not all of them yet. So we'll be back. Okay, guys, so I just broke it loose. Took a big crescent wrench. This is a 12, and have the other shaft on the backside with that. Well, this is a piece of steel. Nope, that's aluminum or something. Okay, so that's loose and out of there now. So that's more steel. Let's see if I can get this out of here. There we go. So this See, we got bearings too we got to deal with here. There's one there and there's probably one here. But now that those are out, I should be able to take these. So these are anytime you run across a ceiling fan, grab it because there's enough steel in that it's worthwhile. So this is steel, I'm pretty sure. I keep saying it's steel, then it ends up not being. That is steel, that's steel, so that's all steel. There. So now we've got a bearing here, and we've got this gizzy on this side and a bearing. I have no idea in the world how this is going to come off of here. It doesn't want to turn too bad. Oh, it is threaded. Okay. By the way, do this with gloves on. It's a lot easier on your hands. There we go. There we go. There we go. So, the best way to get this away from the wires is going to be where I get the most copper. This can all stay together. It's probably going to be to do maybe 100 white, and these 3 or 4 come from there. So we'll just cut that loose with a pair of side cutters. Be back. Let me show you what I did here real quick. What I did was these were run up through here, and these little insulators came off of the wires from up here, and this is the windings. You can see here that was these red, yellow, brown, and purple that came off the field here. So that's ready to start stripping. This will all come off of here now, like that. And obviously these are steel, both of them. So this is all steel, plus all the nuts and bolts and whatever's there. This much copper that we will strip. We will strip these and get it. I didn't have a good experience because I lost some of my copper the last time I went to the scrapyard, so it wasn't a good experience. So I'm doing things a little different now. The outer row is pretty easy to get this copper off here, and I'll show you. We can get this in a vise, and I'll show you how we'll do that. But for now, and I haven't pulled the bearings yet. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably going to leave the bearings on here. They're steel also, so we can just do that. What we're going to do here is go over to the vise. Be back. Guys, I got this in the vise, and we do it in the vise for a couple different reasons. One, that it's held perfectly steady here. I mean, I can really work on this without it doing anything. And the other reason is to turn it as you go around it. So let me see where you're looking here. Well, you can see right here. So what I'm going to do here is just this. The only reason I'm doing that is just to get a little space here so we can cut these. This is just a normal screwdriver. And we just need a little bit. And that's what this will give us. So, and what I used to use a pair of side cutters. And the side cutters were for cutting these coils on the top. Now these are a pair of, they call them aircraft wire snips, or metal snips. So what I do with these then is go up here and try to get this whole bundle squeeze them like so. Sometimes they go good and sometimes they don't. These are really old, so I'm having a little trouble. Try them this way now. And this way we don't lose any copper. You can do that with a pair of side cutters. All right, guys. So like I said, sorry about that little problem there. Not a big thing. If you want to cut all of these, you can. You can do it with dikes. They're not as good, I don't think, as the pin snips. And you just do them like that. You can also do these with a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel. Now, I wouldn't use a 4.5-inch cutoff wheel, a little bit big, and you'll get copper and stuff everywhere. And the copper dust isn't real bad for you, but it's not good for you. So you just chop them loose like that. And I take dikes and I do this, like that. And let's see, what do we got? We got that one, okay? So then you take your screwdriver on the bottom and do that, and keep your finger out of the way so you don't pinch it. And there it is. That's the first one out. So it comes out really easy. It comes out with any of those systems. You can use side cutters, use tin snips, or use a Dremel tool. These give you more leverage than a pair of side cutters, and the Dremel tool makes too much copper dust, and I don't want to breathe it. All right, guys, for pulling these from the bottom, one more thing I'd like to show you. After you straighten these up here, make sure you don't have any hooks, any little wickers there. You can also use, instead of the screwdriver down here, you can also use the needle nose again, and there you go. That goes as good, if not better, than using the screwdriver. So anyhow, that's probably the last little tip. I'll see if I can get all these out here in a little bit and be back. One more little tip on using the vise, why I do the vise, instead of just trying to chase this around on the bench. I've got all these cut clear to here, but now it's awkward to work over on that side, so I can loosen the vise and do that. Everything's right out in front of me again, because you don't care about the shaft when you tighten it. So you can just start from wherever you want to start. Like I said, I'm using the tin snips just because of the leverage. They're not doing as fine a cut, but that's a good cut. Oh, I thought I had this one. My bad. Okay, that's the little tip. Be back and I'll see how long it takes me to do these. You can see this whole outer row. There's 16. I've got them all out. It was 5 minutes to get them all out, and we'll go. You can see that. This is all the copper, minus a couple strands, 5.4 ounces. Now the inner row is a little bit smaller. There's less of it. You'll probably get about 4.4 off that inner row. So you're going to have 9.8 ounces, almost 10 ounces of number 2 copper. And a little bit of time on the teardown and 5 minutes to get it out of there. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, come back again. Give it to a friend, share it, give a great comment, and thank you so much for watching. You guys stay safe out there and stay blessed. See you on the next one.